High school football is the purest form of football there is. Friday night lights, you cannot be playing for your community, in front of your fans, in front of your teachers, in front of your classmates, in front of your parents, in front of your uncles. High school football is the main attraction here, and I think that's what makes Muskegon high school football unique.
New at 8, a documentary highlighting a West Michigan high school football team getting ready to come out. We're talking about Fearless, a new documentary following the Mona Shores football team throughout their 2025 season, painting the picture of why local high school sports is so special. Joining us live this morning, the filmmaker Jordy Camilleri, head coach Matt Koziak, and football player Tamarion Stewart, or as I just learned, he's also called Ike, which is a really fun nickname. We're going to get into that. I want to know the story behind that. First, though, let's start with Jordy. Jordy, of course, we know you. You've been on the show before with your previous filmmaking. Tell me about Fearless. What story are we trying to tell here?
Man, well, thanks for having us. We're really stoked to be here. So Fearless is an inside look at the Mona Shores football program, and this is so much more than football. Putting this piece together was truly amazing. Having Matt Koziak, along with his coaching staff, helping put this together, made it super easy. But this is an inside look at a program turning these boys into men, setting them up for college, for career, and just to be great husbands, great brothers, uncles in the future, things like that, and just setting these guys up for success no matter what happens. And so we get an inside look from the start of the season all the way to the very end, wins, losses, all of that, and then inside looks at classrooms, behind practice sessions, all of that. So yeah, really just a raw, authentic, candid look at it. We've got great interviews with people like Ike, with people like Matt and his coaching staff, painting the full picture of what it's like to be a Mona Shore Sailor.
Well, very cool. And I want to get the idea behind it. So how did you guys come up with this? We need to do a documentary on the football team. Where was that brainchild? Where did that start?
Well, our athletic director, Jack Newmiller, came to me and said, hey, we have a guy, which I didn't know Jordy at the time, and said, would you be willing to do this? And I said, absolutely. I think what a great opportunity for our kids and our community to see this. And Jordy came in with his plan, and just kudos to Jordy. He's almost part of our staff and program now. He started, I think, in July was the first time he came and did some filming with the boys, and then, all the way up to November, he was around and had some team dinners with us, and all the players knew him, and just what an opportunity, and kudos to the ISD and Jordy for, it's super humbled for them to even pick us with all the great programs around West Michigan. And I think the coolest thing about this documentary is it shows what our players go through in a week. You think about it, they play one game a week.
Right.
It's not like they play Tuesday and then play Friday and maybe, 3 games a week. So most of it is practice on top of classrooms and everything else they have to do. So it's a great look at kind of inside of what our young people have to go through to be successful.
Absolutely. Ike, I want to get to you. Of course, this is probably a lot of cameras around during practice and, some of the downtime with your buddies on the team as well. And, and of course, I heard you're interviewed in the documentary. What was it like, the experience, having cameras follow you guys around throughout your 2025 season?
I think it's honestly a cool experience, you don't see a lot of high school kids getting followed around with a camera during school, so that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, a big behind the scenes kind of and you do follow them around at school, right?
Exactly. So yeah, Ike being one of the people we do follow around, I think I met you one morning in your woodshop class, and then I followed you around to then a graphic design computer class. Yep. You were in the halls with your buddies. Same thing with another player, George Duggins. Which is he plays safety, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And he was out of the season with a torn Achilles that he had in the preseason, and so still following him around because this, like I said, more than football. The academic side of things, he's being accepted into Dartmouth College, an Ivy League school. This guy truly is a testament to just how impactful Mona Shores High School is, but also this football program. And so, yeah, it was so cool to follow these guys around and just get an inside look at what is actually happening in the life of a student athlete.
Yeah, Coach, I want to ask, because you mentioned kind of how the busyness surrounding all of a football season, a football team in general. You've got class every day. You've got probably practice every day. In the summer, I would imagine you probably have practice multiple times a day. And then, of course, you lead up to that football game at the end of the week. How does this highlight the grit and tenacity of a football team throughout their season?
I think that's the cool part about it is you see the Friday night lights and you see the crowds, and you guys do a great job of putting those highlights on for us, and that's something we look forward to. But this is kind of everything else around that. Yes, Jordy touches on the football aspect of it, but I think 95% of this documentary is the day in the life or the week in the life of a football player, from practice to class. I mean, and then we have film on Sunday. So these kids have one day off, which is Saturday. And, that's kind of what it takes to be successful. And these kids get it. And so I think that's the coolest part about this documentary is the walkthrough of what these young people have to go through.
Yeah, Ike, I want to also ask you too, when you are being followed around and you have no idea what this documentary is going to look like at the end of it, what do you hope people get out of your story or your football team's story when they watch the documentary?
To be honest, I think it's a cool experience. So I hope it could encourage like other people that go to our high school or like even in middle school to just play football and just stick with it, and then it's a fun experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we get the a abbreviated version of how you got the nickname Ike? How does that work?
So it's not like me and my little cousin. She's a girl, I can Turner. It's not the best story, but we were always with each other and just like, so that's just how to kind of,
Ike. All right, cool. I like it. Very cool. I love how that's kind of wiggled into your personal life as well. I think that's awesome. Let's talk about the filmmaking process, because again, we had you last year on for the Reeth's Puffer documentary with the marching band there at Reeth's Puffer. How do you take what you've done there and then translate that into a film documentary for football?
Yeah, everything's unpredictable, right, in marching band, and same thing with football. And it was just me running the camera. There were a few student helpers here and there, but it was not necessarily capturing the plays, it was capturing what was happening on the sideline. So we had Coach Koziak mic'd up, we had Javon Shaw, which is another assistant coach, mic'd up, we had players mic'd up, and getting the raw reaction of what the plays were impacting, right? And so maybe it's a fumble, maybe it's a field goal, maybe it's a touchdown. They're running on the sidelines. You've got Ike running and jumping, going, let's go. Right. You've got Matt Koziak saying, like, red, 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 like, get into this formation. And so it's really like just capturing the unpredictability in a way that shows a raw and authentic, candid look at it from a different angle. Everyone sees the football game on the live stream. If you're in the stands, you're watching the same game. But what if we could give them a different look at it from the sideline? What are the players seeing? What are the coaches seeing? What's the marching band scene as well? So there is a little bit of marching band in there, obviously hyping up the Sailor Salute and stuff like that, which is an amazing game, honoring veterans and first responders. And then like here on the screen, I was gonna say right here, on the locker room there. So I'm in every locker room, mic'd up the coach here, and getting his his pre-game speeches and things like that.
Okay, we got about 15 seconds left. When and where will people be able to watch this?
Yeah, so we've got a premiere this coming Sunday night, the 19th at 7 p.m. At Mona Shores High School. I believe tickets are $5. Yep. All proceeds go directly to the football program.
Awesome.
And then Muskegon Mosaic YouTube channel is where it'll be free to watch.
All right, sounds good. Well, we appreciate all of your time this morning. Thank you so much for coming in here on a Friday morning and talking about this awesome film that you guys are putting out. Very cool. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for having us.
All right.